Hi there guys, and welcome to another Train Sim 2018 video. Today is just a little short video. It is really just to tell you where I'm at for the next about week. Due to ridiculous amounts of hardware failure over the previous year probably, I've taken the plunge and gone and got myself some new hardware. Originally I was just going to get parts and build it myself, but managed to get a very decent deal with Mesh Computers, and it's worked out in my favour. It also saves me the hassle of building it myself. Now, I usually would always say do not buy pre-built computers. That is literally my sort of normal line when it comes to it. This, on the other hand, came up at such a good price I couldn't turn it down. So my specs are going to be up massively. So start off, I'll read you out the specs. It's probably the best thing I can do, can't I? So it's a 750 watt Aerocool Modular XT power supply. It's got an Asus Prime Z270p motherboard. I've got a Intel i7 7600K. Got Cooler Master 103 CPU cooler to go on top of that. 16 gigs of DDR4 2400 RAM. I'm not sure what brand that is yet because I haven't said. All it says is major brand. So we'll wait and see what comes with that one. Graphics card wise, I've gone for an 8GB GeForce GTX 1070. Storage is really irrelevant because I've got storage to transfer out of here as well, but it comes with a 250GB SATA 3 SSD and a terabyte SATA 3 7200 RPM standard hard drive. Apart from that, it's all usually the same sort of guff that comes with a computer. So the reason I would say buy yourself is because you can get it a lot cheaper than what you'll get pre-built, because you're not paying for anybody to buy it or ship it or anything like that. But I managed to get this at a very decent price. I'm not going to tell you the price, but it was decent enough for me to go for this. The reason for this video more than anything is I've turned all my settings to max, and I've picked the Edinburgh Glasgow route as I know it is one that I will be able to run reasonably well with default stock and a default setup. Because of my last week's Steam issues, I'm running a very default set of Train Sim. I don't have anything, I don't think, installed extra. So I thought I'd give it a bash, see how it runs at full whack, and this is everything maxed, every single little thing maxed. It's not the most up-to-date route to do this on, but it's one that I know I'd at least would be good for a comparison. So I thought we'll do a little comparison, this probably being the last video I'll put out before my new hardware arrives tomorrow, and I get everything installed and running for Sunday night stream. I just thought it'd be quite interesting to compare the two, really. So I'll probably only run this for about 10 minutes or so, maybe 15 depending. And then I'll repeat it. And then I'll put that video out as well for you to be able to have a look and see what difference higher specs do make. So why did I go for what I went for? Price, basically. It was such a good price that I couldn't really turn it down. I will be swapping out the case and stuff. I'm not a big fan of the case it's come with. It's got a big tempered glass side and stuff, and I don't need any of that. I'll put it back. I've got an NZ XT Phantom. It's one of the original Phantom cases. It's not one of the newer ones with a side panel or anything. It's got the two grills on the side for fans, and I just prefer the look of that case. I don't need to see inside. I'm not one for RGB lighting, even though this does come with RGB lighting. I'm not a massive one for it. If it had some super duper pretty, super water cooled jobby, hardline water cooled, then yeah, I'd want to show it off. But realistically, when I'm doing this, just having a big light in the corner is a bit of a distraction for me, especially when videoing and I'm having to read and do everything else. It's just something like I'm not really fussed about. Why did I go for the 1070? The 1070 for me hits the nail on the head. It's the 8GB version. It's not the TI. I didn't really see the point in the extra ridiculous, I think it was like an extra 100 odd quid to put the TI in for minimal improvements. Apart from Train Simulator, I don't really play much else. A bit of City Skylines, Euro Truck, Fernbus, Command and Conquer, a few others, but not masses. No real big A-rated titles. I play things like GTA 5 and stuff on my PS4 just because it's easier for me. My computer's out in the shed, which I can't really call the shed anymore. I've just come up with a better name for it. But yeah, it's I'm outside, and when I'm just kicking about in the evenings, if I do get a bit of spare minute to myself and I just want to play a game, then fine, I'll stick it on the PS4 really. As much as I'm not a massive console gamer, I own most consoles that have ever been made. Apart from the really, really obscure ones. I'm saying that, I've got some quite obscure ones. Philips CDI, 3DO. I just like the look of them, I collect them, that's what I grew up with really, PCs and consoles, so I quite like them. So yeah, for the next couple of days I'm going to be reinstalling everything. It's going to be a completely fresh install, and try not to take much off of my computer at the moment and transfer it over. What this also does mean is I'll be able to put my two SSDs that are in my machine at the moment, and I've got a 3TB hard drive that was in another machine that I'll pull out and put into the new machine as well, so I'll have enough space to back up Train Sim as well, just in case I do get any weird Steam issues. I'm hoping with the new hardware that it sorts it. I think what the problem has been, because my motherboard has been dying for a little while, and one of the things it does do, one of the things that is at fault is the SATA port, SATA port controller, and that is my Steam is on my C drive, and my Train Sim install is on my T drive, funnily enough, and all my videos are stored on my T drive as well, just to record onto the same one that I'm pulling off. That tends to confuse Steam whenever my computer has a little bit of a woo and SATA drives plays up. What happens is my SSD that's got Windows on it, for some reason my motherboard decides it can't see it. So therefore what it does is say that there's no bootable drive, and I have to go into the BIOS and fiddle about and get it all back, then put all my overclocking stuff back on, then do all of that. And I say overclocking, it's marginally, tiny, minimal overclocking, nothing special whatsoever. So that's not the reason for my issues, it is just a dying motherboard. Partially semi-dying. So as you can see at the moment, we're running around 30 frames per second on this route, which I wasn't surprised about really. There's nothing special for it to be working hard on. This route is probably 7 or 8 years old now. But it just shows you that my lovely 970 can still do it when it wants to. But once you start adding anything in or using a more modern route, I would be down to 15 FPS and a heartbeat and below. I quickly went on to the Trent Valley line, which is probably the most resource intensive route I own, and I ran that at the static settings I usually run at, and yeah, again, it was fine if I was out in the country. I was getting at 28, 29 frames per second. As soon as I got anywhere near any station, I was down at about 8 frames per second. I don't dare turn it on, whether do that route with the settings max. That would be super duper ridiculous. I've also turned my frame limiter off, so you can see this hovering around 28 to 30 frames per second. That is normal for me usually, because I usually limit my frames, but since it's fresh so I haven't re-limited the frame rates. So you see I'll get some dips if I'm waving about and loading in scenery tiles and all that sort of jazz. Sometimes going up to 35, there we go. So yeah. She runs quite well. So what I'm hoping to do, guys, is do this again, hopefully on Sunday, probably, before my stream, and just redo this and see what frames we get then. I'm not looking at the game's so old and using new architecture and newer stuff. I'm not expecting masses of improvement. I expect some. I went for the i7 over anything more, just because anything more I'm not going to need at the minute, and the 770K being the now there's the i9 series and all that in, and the Ryzen CPUs, the i7's come down enough in price for me to make it worth my while. But I must say, driving with shadows and headlight lens flares, even though I haven't turned them on, it's very pretty. It does bring an extra element to the game. So, thanks very much for joining me. Bear with me over the weekend while I get everything new and sorted, and come and join me on my stream on Sunday evening for the launch of the new computer and a very special scenario about Albie Pierce. I haven't been told what it is. Parental advisory is advised. Knowing Albie, it will not be child friendly, so therefore anybody under the age of 18, don't tune in for that. That will probably be at about 11, but the stream will start about 6, and I'll be doing lots of little bits and pieces that I've got planned for this stream. Things that I couldn't do before, so Trent Valley Line will be one of the scenario stuff I will do, and a few bits and pieces here and there. So once again, guys, thanks very much for watching, and as I said, bear with me. Join me on Sunday for the stream. I'll also get a couple more videos out on Sunday just to keep you guys that don't watch the streams happy. Links are in the description below for Twitch. Remember, I have said it is not for kids. My streams are very different to my videos. My streams are a lot more adult focused. There's a lot more adult language, all sorts of different things. The chat is also pretty hardcore, so just be warned. Be warned. It is not for children. Alright guys, once again, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you on, well, next Sunday.